You're listening to A Radio.
Thank you for joining us. You're listening to A Radio, and this is The Morning Moment. Follow us on Spreaker.com and click on the like button. You can find us on most social media platforms such as iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Go to our website, aradio.wordpress.com, for details, where you'll find more content and details on our podcasts and more. So we had to respond to that comment made by Joe Biden. As expected, he gets a pass. I have to say it reminds me, if any reminder was needed of course, that Liberals always get a pass. Here's that piece. Well, actually it's two pieces spliced together, but the subject is all the same. And I apologise for the AC going in the background. Here's the piece.
Presumptive Democratic nominee Joe Biden sounding off on the Breakfast Club talk show, saying the choice for president should be an easy one for African Americans. It's become controversial. Watch.
Well,
Thanks so much. That's really our time. I apologize.
You can't do that to black media.
I can't do that to white media and black media because my wife has to go on at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm in trouble.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community. I would love to see.
Take a look at my record, man. I extended the voting rights 25 years.
Presumptive Democrat nominee Joe Biden taking heat over that interview, including from our next guest, who calls the comments arrogant and condescending.
Republican Senator from South Carolina, Tim Scott, joins us now. Senator, thank you for joining us. Obviously, a very sensitive moment. I was pointing out earlier in the show, it is because of the African-American vote in South Carolina. Joe Biden is relevant and is likely headed for the nomination. What do you make of these comments, and what do you make of his record?
Well, there's no doubt that if you look at it, the fact that he is the nominee, basically speaking, it's because South Carolina's African-American population stood up and trusted not Joe Biden as much as they trusted Jim Clyburn and followed Jim Clyburn's endorsement of Joe Biden. That is why he is sitting in the position he is in, which only reinforces the negative narrative that Joe Biden ain't woke. I'll say it the way that he would say it if he was on an African-American station. Condescending and arrogant when you say it like that. He's playing to an audience, assuming that the audience, they're not smart enough to figure it out. And I'm glad that Charlemagne called him out on that negativity and that arrogance. And frankly, I would love to have a conversation about Joe Biden's record versus Donald Trump's record. Can we please have that conversation on national TV? Fox News, to CNN, to ABC. This is a record that the president will win on. Think about the opportunity zone legislation in and of itself. President Trump has helped create a $75 billion investment into the poorest communities. And now Lindsey Graham and the president are working to bring broadband into those poorest areas. The ability to connect people who today are unconnected for learning, for medicine, and for jobs of the future. What has but Joe Biden done in the last 20 years? And the answer is crickets. Think about the 1994 crime bill that disproportionately targeted African-American males. What did President Trump do? He came back with the First Step Act and said, we are going to have fairness in sentencing. We're going to help people who are coming out not return. That is a form of compassion that can be measured by the lives changed, by the families impacted. And so for Joe Biden to say to 1.3 million African Americans who voted for President Trump that they ain't black is arrogant, condescending, and it frankly speaks to the families of the 1.3 million African Americans as well.
So well said.
You only have to look at the Canadian Prime Minister in our case and the blackface incident, the numerous altercations that he's had in Parliament, even to the extent of barging a woman member of Parliament out of the way in the House of Commons. His arrogance goes hand in glove with his beliefs, along with others, such as the Governor of Virginia and most notably Hillary Rodham Clinton, and not forgetting their Commander-in-Chief.
People have been beaten down so long, and they feel so betrayed by government.
Well, it's not surprising then that they get bitter and they cling to guns or religion or antipathy towards people who aren't like them, or a way to explain their frustrations.
And that's my comment. You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com, where you can find links to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Gab, Spotify, and email. We're on Spotify under the podcast section. Type in Canadian Politics with a twist and you'll find us. We are continuing to reach out to you, so please pass these links on to your friends. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. You can listen to all our morning moments at Spreaker.com/A-Radio, EHRADIO, A-Radio. And please click on the like button. Join us Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 11:45 Eastern, and tell your friends and pass the word. We only tell the truth, not what the mainstream media want you to know.